Hey, welcome to Parents Guide to Youth Baseball. This is Coach Whitney. I wanted to spend some time in our first episode to talk about what is really the foundation of youth baseball. Little League, Pony, Cal Ripken. These are local, organized baseball with a focus of everybody gets to play. And there's been a lot of talk about these organizations recently, especially with travel ball that we'll get into in another episode. But I wanted to spend today talking a little bit about this foundation, Little League, Pony, and Cal Ripken. Just some background. I have three kids who played either youth softball, Little League, Pony. Spent a lot of time coaching in those leagues. Very familiar with them. I was on the board for youth softball as well as Little League. I understand the basis of them, the focus of them, and I believe that everybody has an opportunity to play is really important. I think that parents who are deciding to get their kids into different programs, whether it be soccer or basketball, that Little League really has a place in there for an opportunity to teach the basics of the sport. But I wanted to make sure that that you understand that there's more to it than that. So T-ball, whether it's in softball, baseball, it's very basic. Everybody wins. It's good for the kids. They get snacks, just like soccer or basketball, etc. I think the important part to that is what happens after that. And the time that I've spent in different little leagues, coaching, being on the board and coaching, I've learned one very important thing. There are some competitive little leagues out there. You probably see them in when it gets to the Little League All-Stars, your city, if your city's competitive, they are always in it. And that usually comes from areas where you have people who are more focused because they've played baseball as coaches. They're coaching now, but they played baseball before for a long period of time, even up to college. Maybe they even made it to the professional ranks. Those little leagues seem to be more focused on fundamentals and pushing the kids to learn the ins and outs in baseball. Then you have little leagues that are there because it's an activity, and I think that's where the frustrating piece is that being a high school coach, I see the opportunity to learn more about the other programs when we play other schools. I communicate with the other coaches, talk about their development programs. And I think what I'm seeing is over the past 5 to 10 years, there's been more of a drop off from what is considered the 12-year-olds in Little League that we see on TV into the Little League World Series. After that level, the drop off is huge. The amount of children that choose not to play baseball after that year, and I think the focus is that when they get to that 12-year-old year, they're still on a small field. Kids are throwing a lot harder. The game gets a lot harder, which it should. And kids that aren't prepared, they don't want to keep playing. It's not an interest for them. I don't want to talk away from the fact that I think that Little League adds value, as well as Pony, Cal Ripken. They're very different, those organizations. A lot of people who have their kids go up in Pony will tell you, oh, Pony's better than Little League because they teach you how to do leads earlier. Little League, you can't do leads until you're in junior Little League, which is 13 and up, where Pony starts, I believe, at 9. They start doing leads in little league. When what you watch on TV, they don't take leads. These are 11 and 12-year olds. They have to wait until the pitch crosses the plate, and then they can steal. They can leave the bag. And I understand those differences, but I think what's important is if you're choosing to have your son or daughter play in Little League or Pony or Cal Ripken, I think it's a good thing. But I want to prepare you for the fact that this is a volunteer-run organization. All of them are volunteers, from the board all the way down to the coaches. And a lot of times you're just looking for a parent to step up, and it gets really hard. Usually the Little League has to push for more volunteers, trying to get more people in to make sure that the kids have an opportunity to be led in a safe environment. And I think it's important. But what I'm seeing is those volunteers. It doesn't matter if you grew up playing baseball. There's opportunities out there for you to learn drills for the kids so that they can build those fundamentals. And I think it's really important that if your child is on a team with a volunteer coach who did not play baseball but doesn't focus on the right drills and the right training for the kids to prepare them to get better throughout the season, I think that's an opportunity for parents to step in and offer to help or get work at home. There are millions of places with the internet. I wish we had that when I was a kid, but millions of places that they can go find drills to play with the kids so that they have a better opportunity to learn. Their focus is better. But baseball is all about repetition. What you see on TV at the MLB level, these elite players, that is repetition in the millions. Their swings, how they throw, how they catch, grounders, positioning. It should be taught. It should be mandatory to spend time doing daily drills, fundamental focused. And you can find these on the web so easily. And I don't know why coaches don't just spend half an hour a week trying to learn some drills that are in the best interest of the kids. As I see kids coming up through Little League and then come and try out for our high school baseball team, I really do notice that the kids that only play Little League, they don't spend extra time on their own or getting training elsewhere, or don't have parents that are spending time helping them learn more, playing catch, hitting off a tee into a net. They really struggle at an opportunity to be able to go daily and dive deep into the fundamentals with a high school program. I think that is something that the parents can get involved in early. After T-ball, spending time rolling the ball to the kids, learning hand drills, and this will help them in any sport they play. Eye-hand coordination. I just think it's really important that they get these opportunities to focus on what their growth is. The drop-off that happens in Little League, Cal Ripken, Pony, after the age 12 is so huge. There's a lot of leagues out there that they aren't even able to make a team after what is considered in Little League the major season, the 11, 12-year-old. And if these kids just had more time to spend learning some of those basics when they were 6, 7, 8, 9, I don't think that would happen. If coaches spent more time learning the fundamentals and training kids, and that was mandatory in Little League, and Little Leagues had a position in the boards that focused on development and would visit practices and make sure that's done, I think we'd see something different, not just locally, but globally. spent a lot of time looking into this, and I think it's really important. And it's within the parents' power to be able to focus on this. As a high school coach, I spend a lot of time researching different drills. I follow, some of the great coaches that are out there. Some of my favorite, and I have no problem giving them plugs because they've given me so much in learning how to communicate with players, develop players, focus on what's best for the parents as well as it relates to the players on my team. Walter Beatty in Baseball Lifer, he's probably one of the best out there. He's got a weekly podcast. You can find him on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. His YouTube videos, he interviews coaches every week from colleges. Also spends a lot of time on drills and things that matter. He is the parent of Tyler Beatty, who's a professional pitcher. Butch Chaffin is another one. I think it's really important that coaches learn what there is out there, and I'm open to questions in regards to this. I'd love to be able to help you find resources that can help you with your little leaguer, your pony player, your Cal Ripken player, and get the opportunity for them at some point to make a decision if baseball is right for them. And I think you have to put the full effort in to get to that point. And my hope is that it's after their 12-year-old year that they keep pushing forward and get to the bigger field and understand the differences. But they have the ability to play on that big field and be competitive. I think that what we're seeing right now, and I'll put together an episode on travel ball, but I spent years in coaching travel ball. I do travel ball with the high school kids now. I think when kids are around 8 or 9, the ones that are fundamentally being trained, and they're looking for better competition because it's not in Little League. And I know that a lot of people say, oh, travel ball is so bad, and there's all these, there's good travel ball out there too, and we'll spend an episode and talk about that. But that's why those kids are leaving Little League. It's competitiveness. They want to be able to compete, and they want to be able to get better, and they want to see better pitching, and they want to be better pitchers, and they want to, they want to play against the best. And it doesn't always happen in Little League until you get to All-Stars. And even in All-Stars in certain Little Leagues, it's just not competitive because those kids aren't All-Stars and compared to other cities' All-Stars because they didn't get the training. I think it's important. I think it's important that you know that you have the ability to help them and that there's resources out there and you don't have to spend a lot of time. You can make it fun. And I think, beyond baseball, I think you should do the same when they're playing other sports, whether it be basketball or soccer. Spending a little bit of time learning about ways that they can get better and offering those suggestions and being part of that development so that they could become better athletes, I think is really important. I look forward to your questions. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you in the next episode.